back, everybody. Yay! It's been a long day for me. So yeah, now it's time to meet the creative lead and co-owner of the Malmö-based studio Frictional Games. Proving that people who make horror games are really nice and friendly, please meet Fredrik Olsson.
Hello, are you reading me? Wow, the big theater today. That's nice. Isn't there a free beer outside? It should be empty in here. Or oh, you got. That's good. So I would actually like to start this little talk off with just asking you guys a question. What makes games unique compared to, for example, other mediums like movies or books? One word, please. Someone? Interactivity. Anyone else? No? Come on. Creativity. Okay. Challenge. Yeah. Immersion. Oh, good. Very good suggestions, but of course none of them are right. No, just kidding. I'm gonna just put up a few of these because it's important from the standpoint of this talk. So, interactivity, the first one mentioned. We have agency. It's very difficult to have agency in a book or a movie, for example. Choice, I guess. Influence over the outcome. Skills. You can probably read a book faster than another person, that skill, but I mean, that's not what we're talking about here. Challenge, and I made that yellow, as you can understand, it's part of my talk. And with challenge usually comes a stronger sense of reward as well. So I also put motivation in there. So these things are like what we took and focused on for Amnesia The Bunker. These things that are making games unique. There are more words as well, but this is what I put up here, and especially challenge and reward. So quickly about me, co-owner and creative lead at Frictional Games. I've been the creative lead on Amnesia Rebirth, was released 2020. I was the creative lead on Amnesia The Bunker, which was released 6th of June, so nearly a year ago, 2023. Previously, Tarsha Studios. I see some Tarsians out there today. So before then, I did my own football game, footballidentity.com, online multiplayer turn-based game. That sounds fun, right? And before then, I worked with forklifts, or rather, I was the international project manager on Toyota Material Handling Group, traveled around the world, implementing systems in that big organization. But that's not where we're here, not to talk about forklifts today. We're going to talk about Amnesia The Bunker. Who here has played it? Every time I meet a person, they say, I love your games, but I don't dare to play them. I'm like, damn, it's such a bad business model. Okay, well, let's see. So quickly then, since there's a bunch of people here who hasn't played it, the setup for The Bunker is you play as Henri Clément, a French soldier during World War I. You wake up in an underground bunker, and guess what? You have amnesia. There wouldn't be an amnesia game if you didn't have amnesia, right? Everyone's dead. Too bad. A beast is also lurking in the walls and corridors of this bunker. Your goal is very, very simple. Get out. So that's the premise of this game, and I think now, in order to tell you why and how we approach this challenge versus reward, all of the interactivity aspects of this, I need to drill down a bit. First of all, our main goal for this game was also fairly simple on paper, extremely intense survival horror experience. That's what we went for. And our approach in doing so was systemically generated personal war stories. We actually talked a lot about war stories. A war story is something where, like if you think about a war story being told back in the days or whatever, it's usually a challenge and that you actually manage to solve it, and it's a rewarding story to tell. So we wanted to do this systemically generated and personal for each player. Our approach was also to force the player to kind of take the world seriously, the game world. I'm going to go into this a bit more. Your playthrough is your own. We wanted everyone to have a unique experience with this game. And we also spent a lot of time being scared that we gave the player actually too much responsibility and didn't help them enough. But we'll go into it a bit. So the first thing, like the main goal, extremely intense survival horror experience. Instead of me telling you, I show you an example of what that could look like, and be prepared, there might be some screaming going on here. So I hope the volume is good on this one.
Loser, 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 loser.
Do you see anything?
Okay, I'm done.
I don't know if he's out. Oh. Oh, Jesus. He's out. Oh, God! Don't!
Is it in here? Open the door! I saw his fucking hand! I hear it, man. I can't do this. I can't do this.
X. Is that a grenade?
Oh, God! I didn't think you would do that, but why would I have thought otherwise? Oh, no! Oh, no!
Alright, what if I just do this? Hang on, just give me a sec. I know what I'm doing. What are the... I don't know what's going on. Oh my fucking God! Okay, I actually shit myself. Holy shit! Reaction Andy!
Oh, frick. Oh, frick. Shouldn't have done that. Why is Clem all now?
Oh my God! I'm going around!
This was a fun speedrun. Nice and quick. Good glitches, cool tech. What more could you ask for?
Yeah, so that, I guess, tells more about what we were aiming for. Of course, these are YouTubers, streamers. They have a tendency to scream a lot, but I think you kind of got the gist of what we were aiming for here. So what we did then, in order to do this, I have to go further into the actual systems of the game in order for you to get the gist of what we try to accomplish. So first of all, the main point, systemically generated personal war stories. We need to talk about the systems. The base system of this game, there are 4 of them, pitch black environments. And we're talking pitch black environments in the way that you cannot play this game without a light source. There are very few emergency lights scattered around the bunker. They are your only help if you don't have a light source of your own. So that was super important. It kind of set the foundation of how you play this game. And of course, the big guy, the beast, this was super important as well, that there was a dynamic AI. If we're going to make personal stories for people, war stories, then it has to be dynamic. It has to react to the player's actions. And we wanted the beast to be constant and poppable. We spent a lot of time just making sure that you could see where he scattered around the ceiling. There was dust falling around so that the player didn't just get jumped by him, but instead could actually have some kind of control over the situation. He should kill you instantly. We wanted extreme tension, remember? So kill you instantly, and then of course it would be impossible to kill him. The third system, sound, very important in this game. Basically, the beast hears you, and everything you do, all of the actions will make noise. Some make small noise, moving a chair to the side, do a lot of smaller noises. As he's going to get closer and closer. You're going to have him soon sitting in a hole near you. And everything, I mean, gunfire, traps, rats, all of them make noise to attract the beast to your location. The fourth base system resources, inventory management. You need to think about doing some hard choices. What should I bring on my next run out in the bunker? What should I leave behind? Should I leave some space for picking up more stuff, etc.? And of course, we had a storage box connected to that where you could dump your stuff that you didn't want to bring with you. So those are the main systems. These are also systems in a way, but we call them mechanics in this presentation. They are not the base, the foundation for where you play, but what you play with. There are other tools almost. The flashlight, I don't know, those of you who have played it and seen it, that flashlight is loud. You need to pull that string in order to get some kind of light from it, and it makes a lot of sound. So of course, it will attract the beast. It's also very tactile and immersive, very important for us. You press one time, hand goes up, pulls the string, all of that to bring extra tension and that you are actually in this world. It takes up an inventory slot, so if you want light, then you need to allocate one slot for the flashlight. And of course, a gun. First time in a frictional game ever that a gun makes its presence or emerges. It's loud as fuck, this gun. So it starts ringing in your ear if you fire it down in the bunker. And of course, we also wanted that one to be very tactile and immersive. You even need to hold a button to check how many bullets you have loaded. And you need to remember if you loaded the gun or not when you found some bullets. We also, of course, you load one bullet at a time. So all of this is kind of clunky, but intentionally clunky to create this tension, the pressure on the player that we wanted to do. It's also not only like a weapon, it's also a tool in this case. So shooting padlocks, firing it at the explosive barrel to blow up a door or something like that. But it's also a means of defense. You can slow down the beast, even make him go away for a while and all of that. And then one of the really a core mechanic of the game is this generator that's powering up the whole bunker. The generator is located centrally in the hub. You basically can play this game in two modes: lights on, lights off. Or as a YouTuber essay that I saw on the game, he said, these modes are translated into fucked and completely fucked. So, okay, we take that. So basically, keep this generator on because the monster, the beast, doesn't like the light. So it's not going to be as active if the generator is on. But the second the generator dies, it goes all dark. You can hear him stepping out into the environment. And that was actually a vision or not, like we had very early on, where we wanted to have that moment that as a really extreme moment of terror, the moment you forgot to fuel the generator or took too long out in the bunker. This turned fuel into kind of a game currency. The player wanted to go look for it, explore it. It kind of influences how you want to explore the game, and also you need to take important decisions whether to fuel the generator or to use the fuel for other stuff that you will see later on in this presentation. And we even added a pocket watch. I remember talking to the team early on. I said, we need that pocket watch. And they were like, it doesn't have a function. No, but it's going to be super fun. So the pocket watch actually, it gets synchronized with the generator. So when you have it with you, you can check how much fuel you have left in the generator. And looking at Let's Plays like these afterwards, we could see people actually running with this out for most of the time, for long times. And it ticks when they run like that. And that creates, they are stressing themselves out really like badly with that, having that in their face all the time. So, as I said, we wanted this to be challenging. That was the main focus for us. With challenge comes reward, and we wanted that aspect to be here. So we went for a decision to have one save location in the game. It's in the hub. It's in the safe room. Safe room. That's where you have a save lamp that you can save on as much as you want on the normal difficulty, at least. And that, of course, that means that every time you've saved, you go out of this this safe room, you know that every progress you make from that point onwards is at stake. And if you die, you're going to have to restart from that save point. And this is kind of different. A lot of these things are kind of different from our previous games. If you look back at Soma or Amnesia The Dark Descent or even Amnesia Rebirth, it's usually that you respawn and maybe the monsters aren't there anymore even. Here it's very unforgiving because of that challenge that we wanted to create. And of course, the admin office, if you've seen it on some, if you've seen the game, then the admin office is where you have your map of the bunker, the storage box, the save lamp, and also the generator is just down some stairs in this room. So then we decided to add another mechanic, the rats. The rats are not only obstacles. It was super important for us. We could have added rats that became these kind of obstacles that you just need to avoid. What they do is that they actually feast on these corpses, and they could become blockers for you. But what they also do, all of the corpses have this dog tag on them. The dog tags could potentially have a code on the back of them. That code goes to the mission storage lockers with goodies in them and important items. So as a player, you want to actually go and manage those rats, not that they've just become a nuisance to you. Multiple ways of dealing with them. You could shoot them one by one, not recommended. You can throw grenades at them, gas them, anything basically. Hissing will attract the beasts, so if you go close to them, they hiss at you, and that makes noise as well. They, as I said, gathers around corpses, so you can actually burn the corpses, something we don't tutorialize at all in this game, but just inform through notes that we had to start burning corpses in order for rats not to come at them. And that should, as a player, you need to put those two together and start realizing I can actually put fuel on the corpse or throw Molotovs at them or something like that. And when I burn them, the rats won't gather around them anymore. And then on top of this, we actually, if you get injured, you leave a blood trail. And that means rats will come following you, hissing at you. So you're kind of like you saw that in one of the later clips there where he was standing in a corner, the rats turned on him and started hissing and the monster came out. So all of these mechanics kind of going together. So the four main systems that I told you, I mean, images, you don't remember what I was talking about, but this is the beast, the sound, the inventory system, the resources, and basically the pitch black environments. These four systems together, and together with all of the mechanics, they actually interconnect a lot. So whatever you do, if you pull the flashlight, that's gonna affect the pitch black darkness, of course. You're going to be able to see in it, but it's also going to attract the beast and all of those kind of things. This is just a simple sketch showing. There's much more lines to be drawn here, but I think that's the key of what we did. And when we managed to set this kind of environment up with mechanics and systems, that's when we felt that the challenge and the reward comes in. Because the challenge for the player is always to navigate all of these things. Should I throw a grenade? Should I load the gun? Should I pull? Or should I even not pull the flashlight? Is a decision for the player. So tons of different things that pops up during this gameplay, and if you come out of it alive and with your resources, you feel this sense of reward. Oh man, I need to hurry up, I think. We also then, the second point, wanted to force the player to take the world seriously. So, for example, we have the semi-open world, like everything is open from the get-go, basically. You just need to find a wheel and then you open up the whole bunker. Many paths available to you. You need to learn that space by looking at the map. You need to start plotting out the paths. The notes that you find is actually like hints in them that tells you where to go if you want to find certain things. You need to plan your paths, and you need to have some sort of navigational skills. And of course, we also have some key items that open up new spaces, like bolt cutters and things, where the player can see a chain blocking them off. It's fairly easy for them to take it, if they take the world seriously, to understand I can cut these without actually having to tell them or show them in a tutorial that that's going to happen. Another thing that was important this is all like creates a framework for the player to act within. That's how I look at this. So everything made out of wood is breakable. You have this, the wooden doors. They are your main obstacles in this game. There are so many locked doors. But you can blow them up using grenades, explosive barrels, whatever, multiple ways of getting through them. You need to act quickly based on what you believe is possible in this world. And that seems to be working quite well for the game because it's kind of low tech. There's not much we need to inform the player about in this kind of environment. And I think that's really working well as well. Combining items and crafting is also something that if you have a cloth and you put it with a stick, then you can have a torch. And if you find the lighter, you can set it on fire, and you can use that against rats and stuff like that. And we had more examples of that. So I just told you special items we have in the game. If you find them, if you find a lighter, that opens up for throwing Molotovs, burning corpses more easily, and things like that. We have a bunch of other things that actually create this kind of emergent gameplay and make sense in the world again. And then, of course, like with all of our games, physics interactions is a core thing with most of our games. Hiding under tables, hiding in closets, those kind of things, they are things that the player can take advantage of. That's something you could do in real life. Probably not this table. Wouldn't hide me that well, but you know, anything else, under beds, whatever. So it was super important to us not to have beds that you couldn't hide underneath and things like that unless they were very low, that is. So just to give you an example of how, like, allowing the player to take the world seriously, how far we went with this. This is actually something where it becomes almost like people are starting to call this game a survival horror immersive sim, which is very like interesting to us that it turned out that way. But that is the immersive sim aspect of it, and you can see it here. It's like in this example, I want to go up to this wooden door. I want to break it to get in. I have this explosive barrel. Pour some fuel. Maybe I don't have bullets to shoot the barrel, so I want to save my bullets. And here I've taken a bucket, I've taken a chair, and I have a trap with a flare in it. So I trigger that one, allow for the flare to pop down into the bucket, go back to my little setup, and of course can put it on the fuel, that burns, and shortly after, boom, and the door is open. So that is kind of like a very advanced example of how you take this world seriously. I doubt that any player has done that during their first playthrough, for example. But it shows the spectra of where we went with it. Your playthrough is your own. Super important as well to us that many of our previous games, if one of you and I discussed them, we probably, like in Amnesia Rebirth, we probably have a dialogue about a certain scene. We could have experienced that scene differently, but it's probably the same things that happens on that scene. Whereas in this game, it was all about creating these kind of new, unique scenarios. And for us, it was important. All of the things I told you about, dynamic, emergent, and interconnected system design is super important, but also what we added on top of that was actually randomization. So in order to increase unpredictability and stress on your first playthrough, but also on second or consecutive playthroughs to keep the game interesting for a long time and still stress you out for a long time, then resources, codes, corpses, and dog tags, locations, they are all like randomized. Trap location and type as well. Yeah, so a lot of randomization went into this game, and that makes it feel like it's your own playthrough, your own unique setup that you can tell, those war stories that I mentioned earlier. And then we really wanted to give the player responsibility. That's what we talked about. So what that means is trust the player. I don't know about you guys, but sometimes I think games try to explain things to the player, and in my opinion, that's what we wanted to avoid with this game. Instead, allow it to be much more of a sandbox, allow for the player to experiment and be creative with it, and trust that they can actually put things together themselves. That's where the challenge comes in for me. If I play a game where it's very much designed for me to follow the designer's decisions, then I don't feel as rewarded as if I actually find the solution myself to something. So very little hand-holding, as little as possible. Let the player fuck around and find out. That's a good thing to allow them to do sometimes. And what I just said, the reward is greater when you feel that you actually solved the situation on your own. Just some examples when it comes to tutorialization. What we did was, like, we really wanted to sew it into the narrative. So the first scene where you're in the trenches in the game is basically just teaching the player the basic controls, how to run, how to open doors, how to load the gun, but not how to cut traps with the cutters, for example. That's something that we instead took. Like, we have a whole room in the game that is like a dark room. So we played around with there being a photographer here documenting things, and that allowed us to put photos around. And if you find one of these photos, and you can see it clearly on these Let's Plays, it's super fun because they look at the photos maybe, and then, oh, hang on, okay, I have the cutters. Now I can actually disarm traps, or can I craft Molotovs? Is that what it is? So not telling it on screen in text in hints that way. We wanted to reward the curiosity, experimentation, and vigilance of the player. So, I'm actually on time, I think. Some conclusions. So I mentioned these words when we started off. They were really the focus of this game. We wanted to see how much we could do in that area, and specifically challenge and reward, I think, became the guiding words for us. And what we think that we managed to do was that allowing player participation to be so big in this, it created the pressure to perform. So people really, they felt pressure, but I've also read a lot about how they were pushed forward, especially by the mechanic of the generator, for example. When it's burning, you can't just sit in a corner and wait it out. You really need to push forward, and that's also something that worked well. But all of these things allow for the player to actually feel they are in control, and we got this kind of pressure, and it all resulted in what we believe is an extremely intense and stressful game. And I think maybe we can go back to one of our Let's Players and see if he agrees. Should we do that?
Close that too.
Whoa, fuck. Close it. Dude, I can't do this!
The generator just went down. I can't. Okay. All right, man. That's enough for the day. I can't do that. Play it yourself, man. Hey, maybe you got some different shit going on. Maybe your brain is set up different from mine, but my brain, these types of games, they mess with the worst parts of my mind. I cannot do this. I can't do it. I am at the apex of anxiety, and I have a gun. I don't get it. Usually it helps. I'm just gonna keep this light on forever. I'm never moving again.
Yeah. Yeah, so he actually never finished the game. But he went and did a fun thing because his followers were pushing him so hard to do this. So he went and did, I did it. And then he just had some kind of speedrun glitch. So he just ran through the whole game in that way. Yeah, I did it. But he never actually played the game. So, yeah. So I think that's it. I'm on time. I'm 1.5 minutes left. That's awesome. I just put up some reviews. There are tons of them on Steam, but these are kind of fun, I think, when it says product refunded on these. I don't know if you can read this, but I mean, it's actually people who love the game, thumbs up, but I refunded it. I can't play it. I love this one at the bottom. I don't want to play this game anymore, bro. It's a very strange business to be in, scaring people and having them refund the games when they like them. But yeah, that's it. Thank you.
Wow. I would actually like to play this game someday.
Yeah.
Yeah, someday in the future.
I can give you a Steam key if you want.
Yeah. So Q&A, everybody. Does anybody have a question? for Frederick. Yeah, over there. Wait, you need the microphone. There you go. There, over there.
We should be playing some music while...
Yeah, go a little faster. Run. No.
Hello.
Hello?
Hello.
I was wondering if there were any tools that you ended up cutting for the finished game.
Any tools? You mean mechanics or...
Yeah, like the gun, you got a pocket watch, you can make Molotovs. Is there anything that you considered that you ended up not needing?
Oh, there was an enemy we cut, but I can't remember if we cut... No, I don't think we cut any tools. We changed some tools. For example, the pocket watch. I wanted it to be set manually, but we realized the first playthrough that no, that's not going to happen. So we made it automatically sync to the generator. But I not that I can remember. No.
No. Well, we're actually out of time, so that's a perfect note to say. Thank you so much for being here, Frederick.
Thank you.
And stay tuned. In 15 minutes, we're going to have a really, really, really strange and fun experience going on here. So be back in 15 minutes. Thank you.
Thank you.